So welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today is Vasyl Shavchenko, former Minister of Transportation, Ukraine. Vasyl, it's a pleasure to have you on once again.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for having me.
Great. So what's the latest going on in the Ukraine right now concerning to this war and so forth?
To be honest, we have had a lot of news. You know that we have really cruel battles at the battle line because Russians are trying to storm Ukraine's fortifications and are launching waves newly drafted so-called soldiers. And Ukraine forces now are holding their attempt to storm at the main directions. They have from 3 to 5 direction for storming, and as usual they can do up to 100 storm and more a day. It's quite difficult, but we are holding our lines and we are fighting effectively because you know that Ukraine forces are fighting against Russian forces which were concentrated at the main directions, and we know that in Russia in a week will take place so-called election campaign for presidency, for Russia's presidency. All peoples around the world knows who will be next Russia's president, and we know, and their propaganda news demand something interesting and to give Russian society before the election campaign so-called positive news. They have captured something and to receive any settlements and they think that it can be victory for them, paying for it thousand their soldiers. And nevertheless, Ukraine forces during the last months have eliminated 13 Russia's aircraft. One of them is flying radar aircraft, which has price about 350 million, and it was eliminated above the Russia's territory because its aircraft assisted Russia's fighter jets and bombers to launch guide bombs. And they were bombing Avdiivka city. And they launched at the about from 50 to 20 square kilometers. They were launching about 100 bombs, up to 100 bombs. Every bomb has from half ton till 1.5 ton, and one bomb can eliminate settlements. And Ukraine forces re-established our opportunity, created so-called Franken-SAM system. It's mixed from, for example, launchers from Patriot and radar from Ukraine produced system, and effectively we're eliminating Russia's fighter jets. And now the number of their storm has cut maybe two or three times. And at the same time, you could see that Ukraine forces have eliminated dozen Russian warships, and last one was eliminated a few days ago. It was eliminated with using Ukraine's produced drones, which are operating in sea, and 5 drones attacked Russia's warship and eliminated it. And we know that they are trying to demonstrate all they could just to demonstrate how effective are they. But we can see that they are trying to threaten Ukraine and our allies, that they can use nuclear weapons, that they can use European countries, and among our partners, there are a lot of different opinions. They are not able to understand that we will be able to eliminate this empire of evil if we are together. And this interior problems in European Union concerning transport routes. I don't know if you know, but Ukraine is blocked from European countries at the borders. Checkpoints with Poland because of farmer protests who are again transporting Ukraine's grain through Poland. And we know that it was encouraged by pro-Russian right-wing parties, which has a small number of members of this party, but they are effective because of funding from Russia's side. And you know that Russia is looking for information for their propaganda news just to persuade our neighbors that they have problems because of, for example, Ukraine. Not because of Russia who's storming and who's threatening them, but because of transport routes through Poland. It's lie. And they are using this lie just to threatening and bullying our neighbors and to demonstrate that they are able to use. And countries, for example, which are trying to cooperate, like Hungary, for example, whose leader visited United States just for meeting with Donald Trump, just to communicate with him. And we know that these events extremely dangerous because we know that United States has the same kind of domestic problems resolving interior problems, but outside problems more dangerous, and it's looming. It's looming for developed countries. And yesterday, for example, we could see that China's envoy visited Russia, the European Union. Yesterday, he visited Ukraine. And it isn't because of their interest in participating in arranging so-called peace agreement, but they are interested in testing European countries and to understand what will be next. And there are a lot of domestic relations based at the information from this envoy as a result of his negotiations.
I had once heard that the European nations had really stepped up their assistance in terms of military aid to Ukraine. Is that true? Considering now that there's a blockade to trade going into European nations, what's going on there?
To be honest, we were promised from European partners to provide Ukraine ammunitions, and it was next round of negotiations, and Ukraine was promised 800 artillery rounds just to prevent Russia Federation, but we haven't received it. and we don't know when we will receive, because we have heard a lot of promises, but we haven't received. And because of it, we are fighting against Russia Federation's troops using our domestic technologies like drones. We have different type of drones, and for example, our industry promised us 1 million drones a year. You know that it's a new type of war. For example, one drone with couple of kilo explosion can eliminate with a price about $1,000 can eliminate tank with a price few million dollars, for example. But all depends on experience, because our soldiers are being drilled to use this system, and it's extremely effective, and we don't allow them to move ahead, because when they try to do it, Ukraine's forces are fighting, eliminating their tanks and military ammunition, and worship. For example, last events, it's widely spread it in the video. You can see how it happened in the battle. It happened on the bridge which was built between Ukraine's peninsula Crimea and Russia Federation.
Yeah, recently when we last spoke, the United States were trying to negotiate, President Biden rather, was trying to negotiate a $64 billion package to Ukraine assistance. And there were some kind of issues there with Congress and approval and so forth. Since then, did you get any kind of financial or military assistance between the past couple of weeks that we last spoke coming into the Ukraine?
I don't think so. I don't think that anybody can forecast the result of this voting. Will it be support or not? But I can say maybe watchers from United States that this money will be allocated at the United States plants. 90% from this money will be redirected for Ukrainians military planes, which will produce new ammunition, and this ammunition will be transported to United States stockpiles. We will receive only ammunition which will be transported from Ukraine, from it produced maybe 10 or 20 years ago, and this ammunition will be transported to Ukraine. We will use it at the battle lines. But United States will receive fresh ammunitions and will fund United States domestic military industry, and this industry will give new working places and will give new level of development, because we know that our Secret Service are working together. You maybe saw it in the United States media that Ukraine's Secret Service is in tough cooperation with United States, and it means that we have actions which are being held from both countries, and we are working. Our forces are working together, and it's funding for future, because, for example, battle lines have demonstrated that there are a lot of new technologies have appeared at the battle line. and forming new type of waging war when battle line is changing, and how to wage war now knows only Ukraine's army, and we and our commanders are not asking for sending soldiers to Ukraine because we are defending our country, and Ukraine's army is formed from young people, from old people, from both male and female, and we are able to hold this enemy storms. But we are limited in ammunition. We have been promised aircrafts, fighter jet many times, but we spoke it years ago, but we haven't received it yet.
Well, yeah, that's one question I was about to ask you. I know that you were promised some F-16s, and Ukrainian pilots would have to come over here, I think, to be trained in how to effectively operate those planes. Is any of that really materializing? Is there any jets starting to come into the Ukraine as yet from the United States? Are there any pilots getting trained, considering the urgency?
Information we have from open sources that they are being drilled, and they are trying to use different type of weapon, F-16 equipped. But for example, we are speaking about about 18 or 24 fighter jets Ukraine will be able to receive. But during a month, during the last month, February 2024, Ukraine eliminated 13 Russia's fighter jets, 1 month. And you know that before the war, Ukraine had about 100 fighter jets. 2 years waging war, you know that we have lost many Ukraine fighter jets, and because of it we cannot establish Ukraine's forces dominations in the sky. Without domination, we are not able to prevent Russia's launching guiding bombs, which are flying, which are launching from distance, maybe 30 or 40 kilometers from the battle line. And we must have fighter jets to intercept them and to dominate in the sky. But we hope that it will happen soon, but I don't know when it happened, because we know that it lasts really long months for us. And I think that we would be more effectively if we have fighter jet more sophisticated technologies. And you know that if our partners, European Union, cannot produce and cannot provide our army 1 million ammunition, it's a problem not only for Ukraine, it's a problem for European Union, because we have heard many rumors that Russia, they are able to storm Poland, to storm Baltic countries, and thanks State Secretary of United States who signed agreement about joining our friends Sweden to NATO bloc. And because northern country, European Union are effectively working.
Yeah, you said earlier that Putin had somewhat used threats to the European nations about using nuclear weapons and trying his best to put them in a stand-down position from aiding Ukraine. Do you think he's beginning to reach a desperate point right now in this war? Because he's fishing out to every dictator country to get aid to help fight this war. He's down on ammunition, all probably for the exception of his nuclear weapons. I don't think he'd be stupid to do such thing, but when your back is up against the wall, you would do about almost anything. Do you think he'd be stupid enough to do that? And if the European nations think that he would do that, would they not want to join in this war and strike first?
I'd say more simply, first of all, he have done it many times. And this type of threatening can be used only one time. And after that, he have to launch. But he haven't done it, and we understand that maybe you could hear his opinion that they have checked the condition of their nuclear weapon condition. But before, it confirms that before the condition of their nuclear weapon was bad. It haven't been 70% of this ammunition haven't been served since 2014. Since the time Russia started war against Ukraine, because 70% of this weapon was served by Ukrainians military industry company, and they were not allowed to go there. They were prohibited to serve it, and we know that there are many sophisticated technology which would allow to detect conditions this weapon, but it haven't done because they are not able to use. How they can serve it? And it's one question. Next question, if he is ready to do it, he have had many answers from our partners. You know that since renewing Ukraine's independence, Ukraine had the third biggest nuclear weapon arsenal, but under Western countries and Russia pressure, we have to eliminate it or transmit it part of it to Russia Federation, and there is a nuclear weapon which was transported from Ukraine. And in exchange for this action, Ukraine asked for cooperation to have a guarantee for future. But we received it, but it appeared that it doesn't work. But maybe a couple months ago, we heard that Great Britain is ready to use the nuclear weapon against Russia Federation if they launch from their side, and without any hesitating, Britons are ready to answer. And last month, for example, when United States are not ready to accept decision concerning weaponizing or cooperation in this sphere with Ukraine, France decided to take his leading role, and and President of France had meeting, and they discussed how to help and how to weaponize Ukraine, and confirmed that they will be ready, if it's necessary, to send their army to Ukraine. And it was good signal for invader, and they must know that it will happen. But now we are not sure how it will work, but the only country in Europe which has nuclear weapon, it's France. France has nuclear weapon too. But I don't think that they will be ready to work it because this Soviet type system were redirected not only for European Union, but for United States. But no one knows how they are going to answer and which place they are going to answer. And then third thing that Ukraine has guarantee from China. And China guaranteed that against Ukraine will not be used nuclear weapon. And we will ask China, we have asked them about this guarantee, which were adopted both sides. I think that nearest future will demonstrate what will happen. And I think that in a week they will hold their so-called election campaign, and they will try to send signals for Ukraine for ceasefire. But you know that today Ukraine's president is visiting Turkey, and Turkey's president Recep Tayyip Erdogan decided to repeat his opinion that he is ready to provide ceasefire in Ukraine. And we are ready to do it, but first Russia Federation must confirm that that Russia is ready to withdraw their troops from Ukraine territory. And we know that it's the type of tactics. They
Yes.
are sending signals that they are ready to hold negotiations about ceasefire with Ukraine, and forgot to tell that they are not ready to withdraw